Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is your boy Cusco, and I'm bringing you another Destiny 2 build video here today, and we will be going over the Bakris on the Revenant subclass today. Starting off, if you don't know what Bakris actually does, when you use your Stasis subclass dodge ability, it activates Light Shift. It gives you a plus 10% to arc weapon damage. And on top of that, since we are on a Stasis subclass, if the enemy is frozen or slowed, you get another 10%, stacking on top of your first 10%, giving you a total of 20% just from this mask. This does stack with arc weapon surges right now. However, I heard that there is a leak that this will change next season where Bakris will not stack with the weapon surges. However, it will get an increase to the damage boost that it gives. Hopefully this isn't a nerf to it, but use it while it's still at this peak potential. Moving straight into our Revenant subclass. First of all, for our abilities, we are running Gambler's Dodge because we need our melee, especially if we are running solo content, to freeze enemies. And then as for your grenade, run Duskfield. I have ran Glacier Grenade, but I feel like the slow and the freeze that you get from Duskfield Grenade is a lot better and a lot more consistent than Glacier Grenade, especially since we are not running Shatter Dive. For our aspects, we are running Touch of Winter and Grim Harvest. Touch of Winter gives us that increased slow fill size and that crystal on impact, while Grim Harvest is going to create those stasis shards for us. On the fragment side of things, we have Whisper of Fissures, Whisper of Impetus, Whisper of Refraction, Whisper of Conduction, and Whisper of Durance. Whisper of Fissures is just going to give us that increased damage and the increased size of the burst when we destroy a stasis crystal or defeat a frozen target. Whisper of Impetus is going to give us that reload when we use our melee ability, while Whisper of Refraction is going to make sure that we keep our class ability up. When defeating slowed or frozen targets, it's going to grant us class ability energy. And then we are running Whisper of Conduction for the tracking stasis shards, and last but not least, Whisper of Durance to increase the slow duration from our abilities. As for our armor mods, they are all on screen right here. The only ones that you have to make sure that you have on are the arc weapon surges, as well as time dilation and an arc siphon, and make sure you have a Reaper on with the time dilation as well. As for all of the other mods, go ahead and mix and match based off of what you like. If not, just go ahead and copy and paste everything that I have. For the artifact, there literally isn't any arc artifact mods, so just go ahead and put on all of the available weapon mods and all of the available authorized mods. While you're at it, might as well put on Shattering Orbs and Prismatic Transfer as well. And that is basically it for the build. I did do a lot of damage testing that I wanted to go over, so I'm going to go ahead and take this part of the video to do so. And I just wanted to go over weapons that I thought would do a good amount of damage. However, overall, with the arc weapons, and if those arc weapons have something like Vorpal or any increasing damage stat on it, it will get around a 132% damage increase with everything that we have on. We deducted this from the damage testing on an arc hothead with Vorpal on it, as well as an arc first in last out with Vorpal on it. Keep in mind, both of these weapons did have the boss spec on it, and we got a 132% damage increase on both of these weapons. This is with the target being frozen, as well as Light Shift being activated on top of 3 arc weapon surges. Other weapons that I tried are the Iterative Loop, a little bit of testing on the Delicate Tomb, as well as a Spike Grenade Launcher, just because these are all of the high hitting special weapons, and you could imagine an arc sniper rifle would get the same amount of damage increase as these special weapons, except it would get the damage multiplier of a crit shot as well. Starting off with our testing on the rocket launcher, the Hothead. This rocket launcher with Light Shift activated at ×3 arc weapon surge, as well as the enemy being frozen, will get you a damage number of around 320,000 damage. Keep in mind, this will be per rocket if the enemy is frozen back to back. Moving on to the Delicate Tomb, there is some great potential with this weapon. However, because the hipfire spread is so large, you are never really going to get a full damage number from this weapon, because when you hipfire, you get a whole 20,000 more damage per burst than if you aim down with the delicate tomb. If you hip fire with the delicate tomb and you are at the perfect range, being damn near point blank, you will get a damage number of around 120,000 on your first shot. If the enemy is not frozen, every shot after that will do around 76,000. However, if you are aiming down sights with this weapon, you will only get around 100k on a frozen enemy and 76,000 if the enemy is not frozen. Since we are on fusion rifles, I tested out the iterative loop with volt shot on it, and this is honestly the best damage numbers that you can get from a fusion rifle at this point. The iterative loop with light shift, a ×3 arc surge, as well as volt shot and a boss spec on it will give you 145,000 every shot if the enemy is frozen, and then if the enemy is not frozen, it will give you 126,000 damage for every single shot. Moving on to spike grenade launchers, the frozen shot will give you 120,000 damage, and then if the enemy is not frozen, it will give you 85,000 damage. And then the last test is the slug shotgun. I wanted to see what this does with Vorpal, a boss spec, as well as ×3 arc surge and light shift activated. And if the enemy is frozen, it will hit just like the fusion rifle. It will hit for around 142k, and then every shot after that will hit for well over 100,000. However, you have to keep in mind that if you have your super on whoever you are doing damage to, they will be getting frozen over and over and over, giving you that 142,000 every shot. And this is the same for the fusion rifle or anything else. The first shot on the spike grenade launcher, as well as the first shot on the iterative loop, being 145,000 for the iterative loop and 120,000 for the spike grenade launcher. These would be consistent damage numbers if you have your super on the enemy you are shooting. So after all of this damage testing, the weapons that I found out to be the best are obviously the iterative loop, just because this thing has already been great on plenty activities, and if you add a 132% damage modifier to this with its volt shot activated, it's gonna do a lot of damage. My favorite weapon for this build that I didn't even do damage testing for is the fourth horseman. If you saw my short or my TikTok that I posted the other day, I posted a fourth horseman build, and this is your champion destroyer. If you are running through lost sectors, use the fourth horseman. It is going to take out champions in one magazine as long as they are stunned. Other exotics would be the Thunderlord as well as Prospector. Those were pretty fun to use. I found Legend of Acreus was a little bit too hard to use just because you're not a Titan or a Warlock, so you can't really be in front of an enemy's face for that long. That is why the fourth horseman is so much better, because you can get your 5 shots off so much quicker, whereas the Legend of Acreus, you have to melee someone to get the full potential out of the weapon. And then of course, legendary weapons, any arc weapons, I'd prefer a slug shotgun, an arc grenade launcher, or an arc fusion rifle. If you are running Grandmaster Nightfalls, make sure you run a sniper rifle. It's going to help you stay out of the fight and make sure that you're still getting the damage out of the Mask of Bakris after you dodge. And that is basically it for the build. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if it did help you out, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really does help me to push out more videos. And as always, before I get out of here, be sure to appreciate everything and everyone you have around you. I hope you have a great day and enjoy the rest of the gameplay. The fuck was that noise?
I don't know.
You hear that?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Kind of scared me.
Yeah, no, I thought my was gonna crash or something. It sounded like Boar from Borderlands. Dude, what the fuck is that loud ass noise? This would be a big stack ahead of you. My god, dude. Here we go, eh? I'll go grab that orb. Oh. Oh. No. Go for me. There, buddy.